morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday morning. I hope you are all okay. Thank you for joining me for this session. We will do the whole session down on the mat or your soft surface area. Have a cushion to hand. If you need one, it's an extra bit of comfort, maybe for under the joints, under the back of the head. Most of all, listen to your own body. If you're doing a stretch and it feels painful, don't do it. Go back to a level previously, or just do a stretch or mobilization exercise that your body needs today. It's really not about pushing it whatsoever. It's very much the opposite. Also enjoy it. Yeah, breathe into the stretch, relax into it, and we'll get going seated. If sitting on the floor is uncomfortable for you, and you have a stack of sturdy books, A4 books, or something, a little stool that you can sit on. You might want to sit on the edge of the sofa. Please bring that seat under your sit bones, and let's sit tall to get going. Cross legs, legs out in front, however you feel comfortable today. Shoulders down, sit tall. Think about breath. So we're breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. As we exhale, that's going to help us to deepen into the stretch. Collarbones open, and let's go. Keep going with this. Use your breath. Take the long breaths if you can. Those of you who do Pilates with me, you might be in habit of doing this. On the exhale, we're going to try and draw the navel in. And that is low impact core activation work. So we're finding that engagement, that connection with our muscles. So you're thinking of the navel, the belly button drawn in and back towards the spine, in and up as you exhale. And then we're going to drop the right ear down to the right shoulder. Let the opposite shoulder draw away actively. Crown of the head one way, shoulder the opposite. Feel that lovely stretch in the side of the neck there. Shoulders are still down, chest is still open, and then roll the head neck forwards to the other side and find the same stretch. We're always actively trying to stretch in these sessions, pulling one way, gently pushing the other way. And you can keep that one slow, or you can pick up the pace a little bit. If you do have a lot of tenderness and tightness in your neck and shoulder area, I would definitely keep it slow. You don't want to jolt any of the joints. Pulling away gently with the head. And last two. Last one. Excellent. Take a big stretch up for me here. Bring the arms together and release it down. Really send those fingertips out long. Breathe. And you can stay here, or some of you, when you bring your arms down, might be able to twist, rotate to the side, bring yourselves back to center, and then do the same on the opposite side. And as you do this, we're still trying to keep the shoulders down, and we're going to start to look round as far as you can. So don't worry if it's not very far. If you want to stay centered, stay centered. We're going to do two more, centered or rotating, and then release it there. Cross your hand over your legs. Take a slow rotation round, shoulders down, open the chest, nice and tall. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Rotate round, and then again, over we go. Looking round as far as you can, using the leg as a lever. Good, and then releasing it from there. Well done. Bring yourselves over to your hands and knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and start to take a sway side to side. So drop the hips in to the side as far as you can, so you feel a little bit of a stretch on the outer thigh. You might feel a little bit in your glute, in the muscles in your bum. You might feel it on your inner thighs as well. You can stay here, or you can take it into a full circle. And it's just dropping the hips down, shifting them over, and we're keeping a long line in the neck and the spine here. So we're not curving or arching. We are thinking about drawing that navel in and up still. Don't just relax the abdominals down. Switch sides if you're taking a full circle. Sending those hips down and back. Keep a soft elbow as well, guys, so you're not locking the arms out. And then bring yourselves back to 4-point kneeling. If it ever hurts your wrists, please come onto your knuckles. So a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, let's take a cat stretch. Start with the base of the spine, curl under. Now push the floor away. Drop the head neck. Head neck is heavy. Breathe into the back of the ribs. And then push your bum away. We're going to take extension here. Arch the lower back, draw the belly in, open the chest, look forwards, breathe in, reset, and then curl. So the idea here is that we're sending each vertebra, one by one, up to the ceiling. Drop the head, neck, breathe, scoop that belly in. Exhale, push back. Keep the elbows soft, open. Feel the sit bones separate. So those sit bones, your pelvis, feel it separate. Curl under, push the floor away, drop the head, neck. Breathe in. Good. Reset here. I have a couple of options for you. For some of you, you'll be able to bring your leg through the center and come into a position like this, or this leg might bend round a little bit more. So we have this leg through the center of our arms. For some of you, that will be very uncomfortable. So you can take your cushion there, you can pop it under your head and take it into a figure of 4 stretch. I'll talk you through that as well as I'm in the other stretch. So if you can, it's leg through the center, bending the knee, sending the opposite leg back long and straight if you can manage. If not, bringing the leg round as far as you need to, as close as you need to, and as bent as you need to for the body. So those of you lying in figure of 4, you're crossing your foot over your opposite thigh. If you're in this position, I want you to think about your spine still. So if you watch a bad example, curve over arching, pushing the ribcage out, pushing the belly out. You need to sit tall. So you're kind of pushing away from the floor, if you like. You're still thinking of core activation, even in these stretches. The more you push away from the floor, you should feel that actually on the hip there a little bit more. Some of you might feel this already in the front leg, at the back, underneath where your bum is. Open the chest, sit tall, draw the belly in. Either stay here or walk the hands forwards and down and take a stretch. And that's going to change the stretch now to the front leg. You drop and lower the head, neck down. And if you want to progress, you walk the hands to the opposite side of the front leg. Opposite side of the front leg. You stretch, you lengthen, and you push the bum back one way, and you stretch the arms the opposite. Obviously, you can stay centered, you can stay up here, or you could be lying on your back in your figure of 4. Those of you who are in figure of 4, on your exhale, you're drawing the legs in. You're still keeping the back of the pelvis connected to the floor. So find your stretch, everyone. Enjoy it. Exhale into it, deepen, relax the muscles, make sure you're not tensing the muscles as you stretch. Then we are going to carefully make our way out of that stretch. If you can, and you're doing the stretch that I'm doing, you switch the leg through, and you find your same position, bringing this leg round as much as you need to. So the hips are pointing forwards, yep. Nice and tall, pushing away from the floor, keeping a neutral spine. Think of the pelvis being heavy. Make sure you are centered, so you're not sitting in this leg here, you are centered over. And some of you might be a little bit higher, that's fine. Remember, switch legs if you're lying on your back and you're taking your figure of 4 stretch. Stay here for a little bit if you're doing this and you're about to walk forwards, just so you can benefit from that stretch there in the back hip for a little bit longer. Shoulders down, chest open, nice and tall in the spine. So stay here or walk it forwards. Shift the stretch into the front leg now, into the glute, nice and long. Melt the hips down to the floor. Those of you who wish to and can progress, walking the hands to the opposite diagonal of the front leg. We're still feeling the hips push down, melt into it, breathe, enjoy. Good. Bring yourselves back if you're not already. One last little stretch there. And then we're going to take it either to a child's pose, which is this one, or you're going to tuck your toes and come up to a downward dog. So downward dog, which I'm in now, or child's pose. In your child's pose, round your hips down to your heels. Feel the spine lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Push the floor away. Option, forward or bring them round. If that's more comfortable to bring them round, sink into the floor. Those of you in your downward dog, you want to send your chest to your thighs. So it's no good doing this stretch, trying to force the heels down, locking the legs out, and then kind of this happening here. You can bend your legs as much as you need to. Try not to get any of this happening over extension work. So you're looking for neutral spine and natural curves in the spine. Let your head drop. Feel the hips draw up if you're in downward dog to the ceiling. Chest to thighs. Push the floor away and take a look right to left. So you're turning the head on the axes, that being the spine. Breathe. Good. We're going to go into a moving cat stretch. Drop the knees if you're in child's pose, if you're in downward dog. In child's pose, everyone, we're going to curve up. Drop the hips into a 3/4 plank and then pull back. And all we're doing here is curving the spine and then finding a little bit of an arch in the spine, increasing mobility, keeping it nice and fluid. Those of you who want a little bit more down dog, curve, arch it back. So the knees can touch or you can keep them hovered so it becomes more of a plank-like exercise. But you push back, you curve it forwards, you scoop the abdominals in. 2 options of stretch. Knees down or knees up. We'll do 2 more. And bring yourselves back to hands and knees. From here, you're going to take a look round towards your hips. You send your hips to you, you look round to them, and then you take it to the other side. Look round towards your hips and your pelvis. Don't worry if you can't see the hips and pelvis. Looking round. Good. And then we're going to take what we call a frog stretch. We haven't done this one for a while. We are taking your knees as wide as possible and your feet as wide as possible. And you can either stay on your hands, arms extended, or you can bring yourself down to your forearms. From there, this stretch isn't going to work unless the feet are wide. I like to turn my toes out So my heels drop down, my feet are turned out. Some of you might want your feet underneath here, so you kind of got your toes there. From wherever you are, you're going to start to push your hips back, and this is where you're going to start to feel the stretch. So you ease your hips back, you breathe into it. Don't push to the point of pain, okay? Breathe into it, shoulders down and back. Then think about what the neck is doing. You're not kind of looking up. If you're watching me and you've got the exercise, bring your head down so you're looking at your hands. So you're looking at an imaginary reflection in the floor. Nice long neckline. Breathe. And if you think, oh, this isn't really doing much right now, then you ease your hips back, yeah? You start to push your hips back a little bit more into the stretch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, the jawline. And to come out of it, you're going to bring yourselves forwards first. You're going to push the floor away and ease your legs into the center. And we're going to bring ourselves down to lying on our back. Again, if you need a head cushion, please bring that underneath your head. Now, make your way down to lying on your back carefully. If you've not got that core strength, bring yourselves to the side and then roll over. And what I mean by that is, if you're taking yourself straight back and the core strength's not there, chances are it's going to be your lower back that's doing the work. So you need to be mindful of that and be careful. Bring the legs together, feet, knees, ankles, and then drop the legs to one side, please. Send the legs away from the body. Don't worry if the feet and the knees, don't touch the floor. That's fine. Keep lengthening the leg to the diagonal. Bring the leg round if you can, without your hip line sinking into the waist. I'll give you a bad example of that. So if your hip line was sinking in, this would just drop in and the waist would get squished away. So you're actively pushing and lengthening the body to the diagonal. Opposite shoulder down and look to the opposite way of legs, please. Melt into it, enjoy it. If you want to intensify it, you straighten the top leg round. And then switch sides, take your time. Remember, this session is about you. This is your time that you're investing into yourself today, which is really, really good. Your health, your well-being. Shoulders down. These sessions aren't just about your body, they're about your mind as well. Finding complete relaxation. Push the hips away. Noticing how the body feels. Drop the shoulders down. Option to stretch the leg out if you haven't got a wall in the way. If you want to increase the stretch, just make sure that your hip line is pushing away from the body. Lovely deep breaths here, everyone. Sink into the floor. And you can stick with a slow stretch, or you can bring it more into a mobilization. So you can drop the legs, bring the leg round. So it becomes a bit of a sweeping exercise, increasing the mobility there in the lower back. And if that's not for you, stick with a slow stretch side to side. Keeping the toe connected to the floor in that mobilization swing. Keeping the shoulders down. So it's just the hips and the legs. Moving side to side. The back of the neck feels nice and long on the floor still. Taking either a slow stretch over or a mobilization exercise like me. And let's breathe into it. We'll come towards finishing. If you're in the stretch, start to reset yourselves to the center. and we'll take a full body stretch from there. Send the legs away, send the arms away, nice and long. Feel the feet pull away from the body, feel the arms lengthen and stretch away as well. Use your breathing here. Take the ankles and wrists into a rotation, if you like. You might want to bend them, stretch them. Work through any clicks, any tightness that you have. And then bring the arms round to the side. Bring the feet back up. You've got a few options for this next one. You can keep the feet down and send the legs out, opening the knees to the sides. Or you can reach for the legs or the feet and then draw the legs out to the side. Don't force it, but you can add body weight of the arms onto the legs. Whichever stretch you choose to do, let's ensure that the back of the pelvis is touching the floor still. So you're not tucking the pelvis and lifting the bum off the mat. Find complete relaxation in this stretch. Those of you who are more flexible and can reach for the soles of the feet, please do draw the legs down. But again, we're not lifting the pelvis like this. The spine is long on the floor. So you've got 3 different options, 3 levels of stretch there. Choose what works for you and breathe, relax, enjoy. Sink the chest down. Feel the heaviness of the pelvis and the head draw into the floor. Take 2 more sets of inhales and exhales here. And remember, I was just saying about how you carefully get down to the floor. You're going to carefully get up from the floor. If you do Pilates or if you have quite a strong centre and core, you might be able to use the back of the leg to peel up, or you might be able to roll. Or if not, peel to the side and bring yourselves up to a seated position. Your legs are wide if you can. So nice and tall over those sit bones, shoulders are down. Let's rotate the knees out. Some of you will have a slight bend in your legs, and that's fine. It's not cheating. Flex the feet if you can. We're going to take a walk forwards. So push the heels away, whether your legs are bent or straight. Take a walk forwards. Drop the shoulders back. And this stretch is definitely not about getting your head to the floor. It's about lengthening the spine. Shoulders down and back, open the chest, breathe. Make sure at the same time the knees haven't rolled in. Abdominal engagement. Don't just let the belly hang out. Draw the belly in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. On your next exhale, I want you to draw your belly in and then feel the spine curve all the way back up. Neck and head last. So sitting tall. Breathe in. Exhale. This time you might be able to get a little bit longer, further forwards. Push the hips back, shoulders away. Make sure the knees aren't rocking in. Flex the feet if you can. If that's too much, just relax them. From here, hold it or walk your hands round to one leg. Hands either side of the leg. Push the bum in the opposite direction. Make sure the sit bones haven't lifted off the floor. From here, some of you will take your arm up and you'll actually be able to rotate the body into this stretch a little bit more. The arm can stay down, of course. You've always got levels, okay? It's difficult for me to kind of give all those options when I can't see everyone, but you don't have to bring your arm into it. You don't have to rotate. You can stay centered. It's not about pushing to that maximum level of flexibility. Those of you who are in the center stretch, roll up. Then we're going to do that again, everyone. Either stay centered or walk it round. Breathe in. Exhale. Hold it here, option. Flex the feet or relax them. Those of you who can, we're going to walk around now to the opposite leg. Hands outside of the leg. Push the hips down. Make sure the sit bones haven't lifted. For me, for an example, this leg feels a lot tighter today. And you're going to have days and weeks where the body feels tighter than the week before. Sometimes it might feel a little bit more flexible. And it's about noticing that in your body. Shoulders down and back. Those of you who can rotate the chest round, make sure again the sit bone doesn't lift. Option to bring the arm into it. You keep pushing one way, the crown of the head lengthens the other way. Option with the arm, option with the rotation. Breathe. Walk back to center if you're not already, and then roll up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Again, if you are using a yoga block or a stack of sturdy books, please sit on that. If you want to sit on a chair, sit on a chair. We're going to roll the spine forwards and down. Breathe in. Exhale, nod the chin. Roll the body forwards and down. Send the legs out wide. Drop the head to where you can. Roll forwards. Use the arms if you want to add body weight. Breathe in. Roll up. Shoulders down and back. Sit tall. Breathe in. Exhale, roll forwards and down. Curve through the spine. Find that articulation. Drop the head, roll the head to where you can. Deep breaths. And then again, peel up through the spine. Feel the abdominals draw in. And then send the legs out long. If you can keep them long, please do. If you need a slight bend, have a slight bend. You can relax the legs out and open them as well. Let's walk those hands down the front of the legs. Taking that leg position where you need it. Let's push the hips back. Again, we're thinking of the spine elongating. You push the hips down. You send the head nice and long. Shoulders down and back. Breathe. Roll through your spine. Take your time. Sit tall. One more. Breathe in. Exhale. Walk the hands forwards. Lengthen. Push the hips back. Those of you from here who can flex the foot and can hold onto the legs or their feet, ease your body forwards and longer. So when you flex your feet, you're going to feel that in the back of the calves. It's probably just going to creep up to the back of the hamstrings a little bit more as well. It's optional. It does increase the intensity. Shoulders away. If you feel your spine's curving, you're not going to benefit from the stretch as much there. So only hinge forwards as much as you can keep a neutral spine. Then we're going to curl through the spine. Taking a seated side bend over, push the hips away. You can see the change there, the shift in my hip alignment. I push down and away. This arm can stay long, or you can bring it down again to increase the stretch, making sure this doesn't lift. Up and over to the other side, lengthen away. Push the hips one way, feel a lovely stretch in the side of the body. Option to lower down to forearm. Release. Good. Sit comfortably with the legs, however that is. Take a look round to your furthest point without jolting the neck. Keeping it a nice, fluid movement. Good. Taking a head roll side to side. Taking a lovely big stretch up. Breathe in. Bring the arms down. And just thank yourselves for taking that 30 minutes to find those stretches, listen to your body and do what your body needs. So thank you and well done. Whatever you get up to on this fine Sunday, enjoy yourselves, everyone. And yes, take care and I'll catch up with you soon. Goodbye for now, everyone.